Steady now.
When you consider that the PlayStation 2 would play host to more than 4,000 games across all territories, the following statement becomes quite notable. Drakengard might be one of the most insane games released on the console. Yoko Taro's directorial debut evokes a myriad of emotions, ranging from disgust and frustration to intrigue and captivation. Exploring taboo themes, offering a dark story, and letting you kill thousands of foes with gleeful abandon is certainly quite the mix, but serious repetition and uneven difficulty will mean this is best suited to those with plenty of patience. However, those who stick with it may find some appeal, even if it derives more from morbid fascination than quality gameplay. It doesn't help that Drakengard doesn't make the best first impression. Upon launching the initial mission, you're greeted to a dull brown battlefield rife with soldiers popping into view, serious fogging, and lackluster visuals. Soldiers are mostly copy and paste armoured units, with occasional archers and heavy units sprinkled sparsely in between.
I am already dead.
The rest of the maps don't fare much better, as the castle courtyards might relocate to outdoor forests, desert prisons, and fortress interiors, but it all looks dull.
What fate gave you such a powerful pet beast?
Lifeless colours and technical woes plague every map, and while performance holds up pretty well and the animation is serviceable, most of the presentation feels like a step down from what you'd expect in 2004.
Soldiers are soldiers, do not forget who is your enemy!
The gameplay feels similarly rickety, with sword strikes feeling sluggish and stiff. Weapons come with a strike and magic attack, with a single combo available. Weapons level up with repeated kills, and level 4 armaments allow you to perform a longer combo string with more powerful flourishes. The problem is that combat never evolves much beyond this, and there is a significant amount of it. Aping Dynasty Warriors almost to a fault, some battles see you killing close to 1,000 foes across lengthy missions. Without the boon of a varied offense to help, it grows quite stagnant towards the end. It doesn't help that normal difficulty is rather unbalanced at times, with foes able to cheap shot you and certain long-ranged enemies that prove particularly bothersome. With no mid-mission checkpoints, you stand to lose a ton of progress if you die, adding further to the frustration. Not everything is a loss, however, as there's a couple of interesting systems here at least. While health can deplete frequently, you can regain some through chains of combos with higher counts rewarding drops of health. If you are at full health, orbs that send out shockwaves and increase your damage drop instead. While initially holding only a single sword, you can acquire up to 65 weapons through a range of classes. Maces, poleaxes, and spears can be discovered through completing certain feats on the battlefield, and you can equip several at once to swap freely between them during battles. It can spice up the combat with different speeds and magic on each weapon. Lastly, you can also mount a dragon during certain missions. Some allow you to jump between on foot and flying, while some chapters are pure flight missions. It's a light take on competing titles like Ace Combat, but there's a great satisfaction in locking onto multiple targets and blasting them away. But really, the true selling point of Drakengard is the dark fantasy world conjured by Yoko Taro. It seems like a predictable tale at a glance. A warrior takes part in a war as he aims to protect Furii, the goddess who protects a seal against a world-ending force, and who happens to also be his sister.
And what about you, Kaim? You once called Furii your sister.
But when Kaim is mortally wounded, he makes a pact with a similarly dying dragon, bonding them together and granting them life again. However, Kaim is anything but your ordinary protagonist. He's a bloodthirsty, relentless killer who seeks only vengeance for his home being destroyed. It's genuinely refreshing compared to more milquetoast protagonists of games prior.
He cares only for settling old grudges.
Despite the fact that Kain's pact renders him mute, his dragon speaks on his behalf, and her grim commentary on the world around you proves more than capable of picking up the slack. The Euro-medieval world is a perfect foil for this grim tale, perhaps recalling anime of the past like Berserk. Contributing to this dark atmosphere is the sound. Sword strikes are heavy and sharp, adding some weight to combat even if it's repetitive. The voice work has that stiff, uncanny delivery you'd expect from this time period, though some performances, notably the aforementioned dragon who speaks on Kaim's behalf, are better than others.
Kill me if you desire, but you can never dirty my soul, wretched human.
It isn't great, but it does have an otherworldly feel to this already morose landscape.
Our oath, the world's oath, they are the same.
The music is perhaps more notable still, a caustic, sharp accompaniment that feels better suited to a survival horror. Harsh repetitions, striking notes, and dissonant tones contribute greatly to the suspense and dread you feel from this heavy tale, and while perhaps it isn't what you'd call enjoyable, you'd struggle to picture this game with a different soundtrack.
The castle area must be cleared. Now go!
Much of Drakengard's darkest content is found in its side quests, where you can acquire a handful of allies, almost all of whom are reprehensible.
It is just.
He won't say! He'll never say the truth!
Their backstories cover seriously taboo ground which most games wouldn't dare touch, and it's perhaps where some gamers will be repelled. However, exploring these is necessary to unlock all 5 of Drakengard's endings. While the initial 8-chapter run will likely take around 10 hours, performing certain actions during some chapters opens up branching paths to reveal more of the story, even if endings grow seemingly more insane as you progress, with the last ending being borderline brain-melting in its sheer audacity. Free expedition missions also unlock, offering more scenarios in both combat and flight to engage in, with more weapons to find. To be honest though, it feels like more of the same, only with no story content added in. Drakengard is ultimately a game that proves difficult to recommend on some levels, but is also darkly compelling to others. The story, world, and themes explored pushed the boundaries of the medium that few have dared to return to since. Those who enjoy dark fantasy like Berserk might enjoy this thread, but most of the problems come from trying to play the game. Combat grows repetitive long before you reach the end, an unbalanced difficulty can induce major frustration, and dullard visuals make the world less inviting. Those wanting a solid alternative to the likes of Dynasty Warriors may come away disappointed, but the patient can glean some enjoyment out of this one after several hours of play. That ultimately will be the deciding factor here. Those without patience should probably avoid this one.
You should just let them die. Oh, but I can't say that, can I now?